Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show, Get Out of Rap TV. It's the 17th of September, back on a regular footing now of every week after having a few weeks off. Hope you are all well. Got the bobble hat on because I'm still cold from walking you know who. And it's also to celebrate the NFL coming back. The Bears are my team, much like the football team I support. They're not very good, but I do love the NFL. I hope you are all well. If you are here, let's kick off. Oh, hang on. I always forget, don't I? I should say, first of all, thank you to my partners. I'm doing some great stuff with them. You'll hear about something later on the show. Um, but without them, I couldn't do this or anything. So thank you very much to Evaluagent, DDC Outsourcing, OneCom, and Better Outsourcing. Here he is. Power to the people. Spencer is here. Spencer, great to see you, my friend. I hope Obi is feeling better. That's your lovely dog. Let's start with, shall we? Let's say hello in the comments. And what was your nickname at school? What was your nickname? Let's get to know each other a little bit better. And remember, if your comments are not showing, I promise I'm not ignoring you. You just have to refresh LinkedIn. Come back. Please don't leave. But yes, do come back. Ah, look. Payda's here. Good morning, MT and all. The sun is shining here in the northeast, and it's very warm. And Pete, I'm looking forward to seeing you later this week. It'll be good to see you again. It's been far too long. Hold on, let me just catch up here. Nick is here. Good morning. A nice day here in southern Scotland. And Gordon, good to see you. It's a beautiful day again up here, isn't it, Pete? Ah, you and Peter up in Sunderland, I believe. And did they have a new bridge? Did I see, Gordon? They've got a new bridge. I'm assuming is there bridge rivalry between Sunderland and Newcastle? If so, is your bridge better? Is the key question. It has been quite a few weeks over here in GOW. We got to 200 episodes, believe it or not, which is uh, mind blowing, really. And thank you to everyone that contributed. I see Spencer and Pete here. They did a contribution to that. You can watch it on YouTube or listen on your usual platforms for podcasts. And I said that funny. And also, in the team leader community, we're now up to like 420 members. It's great. Right, let's get into this. Danny, hello, Danny Green. Morning, all. I never really had a nickname. My younger brother was called Greenie, but that never stuck with me. Oh, well, should we give should we give you one, Danny? Um, Gordon, we did. We put in place yesterday. Oh, the bridge, love it. You don't see many new things being built these days, do you? Or is that just because I'm getting old? Okay, this won't surprise some. Hello, everyone. My nickname at school was Megaphone. That's a cracker, isn't it? Um, Morning, all. Nick Home is here. Hello, my friend. Hope all is well. Great to be joining this morning to get out of rap. Pete, let's see, says new footbridge. Great to see more regeneration in Sunderland. I've not heard much bridge rivalry, which is unusual given the rivalry about everything else. Here we go, though. Gordon says our bridge is newer and importantly links the Stadium of Light to the town centre. Oh, that is good. Dara is here. A beautiful morning here in Wexford, Ireland. Good morning, all. Dara, and I'm going to give you a shout out because it looks really good. Has a book that combines the lessons you've learned from skydiving, right, Dara? Um, it meant to be very humorous as well. I'm going to get a copy, but I think we should all help each other. There's not enough books that come from our industry, is there? Oh, Darren is here. Good morning, Darren. Uh, Danny Green says, I've been called worse, to be fair. And Kerry is here. Good morning. Scott as well. Scott Williams. Good morning. Mine is fairly unoriginal, just Scotty. Had a period of people yelling my name at me after the first Austin Powers film. Oh dear. Kerry says, my history teacher named me Fagash Lil, but my main one was Foghorn. So maybe, Kerry, you and Spencer could have a volume off. So Foghorn and Megaphone. Imagine you two in the same class. Um, Darren says, again, mine wasn't original. Mine was Daz. Dara, thanks, mate. Yes, that's it. More details at freefallleadership.com. So do check it out. It's the whole point of community, isn't it? We should celebrate each other's achievements and support each other. Because if the people around you are not celebrating your success, they're not your people. Right. But Dara, what importantly, more important than your book, what was your nickname at school? Come on, the Irish are up for the crack. You must have had a good one. Mine was pretty unoriginal as well. It was Teasy. And then when I started work, it became Mr. T. And obviously, because of the similarities between me and B.A. Baracus are self evident, I would have thought. What was your nickname at school? We've got, I don't know if you see that, you've seen clips of that radio show. I think it's in New Zealand where people phone in with funny work nicknames. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, please do keep these coming in. If there's no more, I will obviously refer to them if you send them in. So far, I think it's got to be between Spencer and Kerry with Foghorn and Megaphone. Peter, obviously, I've given you yours where everyone thinks you're Australian rather than a proud patron of Sunderland. Now then, shall we get on to... Oh, wait a minute. Talking of books, it's not really a book the same way you've done it, Dara. This is now available, National Customer Service Week. It's an activity book. I'll just show you it. So this is 7th of October to 11th of October. It's for your teams, basically, where they would go through each day, because each day has a different theme. And there's an activity to get them thinking about customer service in general. These are all based around the days of the week and the theme. And then after that, I threw in some bonus ones that have worked well for me in the past. But this is now available on Amazon for you to get for your team. It's very glossy, it's very shiny, it's lovely. I would say that though. Oh yes, thank you, Dara. You didn't disappoint. I was slightly larger than I am now, so they used to call me Round Boy. I think they got it from Beetlejuice. God, kids are so cutting, aren't they? Here we go. Peter. I had loads from the rugby lads. Ginge, Copper Top, Matchstick, Speedy, and Chuckles were just a few I can share on here. Well, the Speedy one's a good one, Peter, because you're a big guy. So, but you were pretty terrifying on the rugby pitch if you combined your frame with speed. But yeah, they're good ones. I'm not going to be able to break the habit of calling you Peter, though. Okay, now then, let's hit the day's question. Wait a minute. Spencer says, Spencer Collins, Kerry Sudo, that's what my friend said about me, Foghorn. Someone said to me once that I look like Michael Paul Glazer from Starsky and Hutch. Well, that's nice. What a nice friend. Mine were never so pleasant. Okay, question of the day. So, how do we make our industry more appealing? How do we better attract talent? So, I have some views on this, but as always, I would love to hear from you because I think most stats, reports, and people in the know will say that, let's be honest, in our industry, it seems like we've always had a challenge with attrition, and now it seems it's even more difficult to get people to come into the industry. I can remember, we never really had a problem, even with some volume numbers, getting people in. There were a lot of contact centers in the city I was working in, and people used to just do the rounds. It was quite well known that you could leave school or college and just practically walk straight into a job. Gordon is kicking us off. Thank you, Gordon. Um, Gordon Petrie, this is sell the wider story. It's not just answering phones to people. There you go. That's a cracker to get us going. And I wonder how we do this. I know of a lot of individuals that do go out to schools and colleges and sell a better, more accurate picture of just the great career you can have in our industry. But how do we make it more appealing? And I think Gordon has got us off to a flyer. Good morning, Catherine. Good to see you. Good to see you. Do you have a view on this? How do we better attract talent? Um, Dara says, create and promote clear career paths for development. What a great shout, Dara. I'm sure, like a lot of us, I fell into this by accident and accidentally realized I could have a good career. So there was not that clear and promoted career path, Dara. So I think that's spot on. Scott Williams says, personally, I'm not sure the issue is attracting talent. There are plenty of post college university joiners. It is retaining talent. Great, great shout. Scott, what do you think the issue is then with not being able to retain that talent? Why do you think we lose people? Um, Clayton is here. Lovely Clayton. Hey, sorry I'm late. Hope everyone is well. And it's sad to see we're already wearing beanies. No, it's a bobble hat, but I have mangled it in the washing machine, unfortunately. So it's very misshapen, much like my head. I'm only wearing it because I have no hair, Clayton, and I'm cold. uh, Danny Green, my problem isn't getting people in the role. Unfortunately for the business, I lose a lot of people internally, but that's kind of great, isn't it? So we actually sell development because we know that we are a revolving door for the wider business. But I'd rather this than lose people externally. And I don't think that is a problem at all, isn't it? That's something to be very, very, very proud of. I used to love in the contact centers I worked in seeing former team members of mine in new positions doing great stuff. It was a huge part of the satisfaction that you got for the role. I always have a view might not be the right one. Well, share it anyway. Share it anyway. Uh, Spencer, I love this. Inclusive recruitment practices support people with disabilities and actively participate in job fairs and events aimed at this community. That's brilliant. Use inclusive language in job postings and ensure that the application process is accessible to everyone. We are made better by your presence, Spencer. Um, Purely, well, not just purely, but because of things like this. Gordon says, I started on the phones. I've been in change for 20 plus years now, all started in the contact center. That is great. Oh, Gordon, there's someone on the job seekers post that I do that will be great for you to connect with, looking for a change manager role. Do check that post out from yesterday. Nick Sellers says, attrition relates to retaining talent. Don't we already attract good talent? Look at everyone here on the call and all the well-known names around the industry. Do we need more talent or to retain and develop what we have? And that's very much along the lines of Scott and Danny's point. So I think you are spot on there, Nick. And I would include you in that. Pete Dunn, all round legend, says build a good culture, provide solid reward and recognition, not just the expected annual bonus, offer competitive salary. I do think that's often overlooked in these discussions. Offer competitive salary packages and opportunity to progress and build new skills. Um, I agree. Tell the agents why they're there. What's their purpose? Again, a great point. Operationally, that's something I used to do very regularly. That there is a greater purpose that they are contributing towards. Now, agents tend to be grads, so they are not so turned on by wear a yellow t-shirt Fridays or pizza Mondays. They want to know how this job will be a rock bed for their success. Very true. It's kind of, we have to evolve it past this parent-child relationship. Whilst there's always a place for silly games, you need to offer people more and basically professionalize the industry, is what you're saying, Catherine, isn't it? Clyde, I feel we can do better in selling the skills people will learn inside contact centers. You grow up very quickly, and the skills learned can be used for the rest of your life. So true. I think if you can thrive for any length of time in a contact center, especially if you're customer facing or one of the front end sort of support crews, support teams, you can apply those skills to every facet of your future working life and indeed your own life. Um, Paida says invest in gamification. Good comms, very good, Pete, very good. Training. Stop making decisions that result in more work, cognitive load for frontline teams. Yeah, very, very true. And Nick, you are welcome. Uh, Nick Holmes says, I agree with Scott. The issue is driven by a general approach to managing people rather than understanding our people on an individual basis. Get to know their goals, ambitions, targets, and follow up with engagement that reflects that. Yeah, really, really good point. And it is a little bit of a shame, don't you think, that I think the pandemic forced everyone into getting to know their teams, regardless of size of their team, on an individual basis, because we had to equip them and we had to know far more about their personal situation. And that often, I think, for the first time for a lot of people, opened up conversations about what people wanted for being in the industry, what they wanted from being in the industry, rather. Uh, Spencer says, ensure that all software and systems used in the call center are accessible. This includes screen readers, voice recognition software like Dragon, and other video relay service assistive technologies that can help employees perform their roles effectively. Yes, Spencer, brilliant. Thank you. Um, Kerry Sudale says from Sudale Recruitment says training is a key part of it. Invest in great training, spend time, tailor the training, keep them looped in on projects on the horizon. Love that. Their involvement and listen to them. This is about retaining. They will recommend and be an advocate for the industry being in there. So many customers pinch great talent from the contact center can be an amazing stepping stone for development, especially with more businesses wanting to be more customer centric. What better way than hiring people? Let's cut it off. What better pay than hiring people involved? I guess I'm going to guess. But yeah, really, really good point. And again, that's that retention theme that keeps coming up. Perry Fletcher, good to see you. It's all about selling the stepping stones. There you go. You and Kerry, one after another. It's all about selling the stepping stones and the success stories we have within the industry of career growth. But as many said, this does not stop when people are in the door. What is the career journey employees can take, courses, etc., with the YouTuber success, etc., of today? What the next generation want overnight success. So, what can we do as a business to show them the light? Yeah, if you have people coming in that want to be successful in a side hustle, how can the skills of working in a contact center and the experience of that help them in maybe their other ventures as well? Because certainly the attitude towards work has changed, hasn't it? Just how people want to operate and how they expect work to treat them. And I think this kind of disruption, I see it as positive. There are people who come into the industry very young who aren't going to accept some of the practices that we had to do, or I had to do when I started. It was very much parent child. I found things out by myself in terms of what was possible. Um, Nick Sellers says there are so many great examples of people joining at a level and then moving to wherever their ambition and ability took them, upwards, sideways, into specialist roles, from frontline to supporting services, into client facing roles, etc. And so much of it is often based on someone spotting their potential that they might not even recognize. So having great managers. But Nick, that's a good point. Spencer with another cracker here. Establish mentorship programs and support groups for employees with disabilities. This can foster a sense of community and provide valuable resources for professional growth. Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant, Spencer. Nick says it is a career, not a job, or can be if we choose this. And I wonder if that language is important right from the offset. If we're just talking to them about how to do the job rather than this is the start of what could be a brilliant career in our industry, and this is just the starting point. It might not be for everyone, of course. Dara says, as a previous person said, openly encourage progression from the contact center into the wider business. Leaders should be recognized, perhaps targeted for developing their people. I spoke to this is a great point, Dara. I spoke to someone in the community who has now progressed to be a senior leader. And he said very early on, the contact center he was at, his main target was to um, progress people into other areas of the contact center. That was the number one KPI that he had, and he took a great deal of pride in doing that, and it led to definitely retention. So, given all of your comments, my question may have been better worded rather than attracting talent, which based on your comments doesn't seem to be a challenge, but it's rather more on retention. You know, how do we retain great people in our industry? Please do keep these answers coming in. They are, as always, they're great. Please do remember, if I'm not ignoring you, if your comments are not showing, please do refresh LinkedIn. There's a few people that it always seems to be. I do not. I don't want to name them in case they are struggling again, because they're often good friends of mine. So they might think I'm doing it on purpose. Spencer, again, let's have a look at this. Spencer, provide training for all staff on disability awareness and inclusion. This help creates a supportive culture and ensures that all employees understand how to work together effectively. I think that has so many benefits, especially if you are genuinely trying to foster a really nice culture and one of team spirit. You will only get that by understanding where people are at and how, for some people, what others might consider easy actually takes some effort. Effort. Excuse me. Hang on a sec. It's sugar free. It's sugar free, but I do love a monster. Okay. Thank you. Yes, thank you for these. These are great. Now then, what are you up to on Thursday of this week? Because there are still spaces left for this. The big game. The big game 2024 by Centrical is going to be the first annual contact center community day. I'm pleased to say I'm going to be there. I can't wait. It is at Old Trafford, the Theatre of Dreams. Self-styled, of course, they say that. I'm not sure if I'm going to get away with wearing a Tottenham shirt there. I'll probably be kicked out, and I'm meant to be doing a couple of bits at this. But I've been loving working with peers. Ian Chappell, Chris Rainsforth is going to be there. Katie Forsyth from Red Recruitment, And at the moment, there's about 80 other people. Now, Peter, I know you're going. There are still places available. It's free to attend. It's going to be something a bit different. It's going to be a lot of fun. And be prepared to get involved if you do come. So, if you are interested, go to either Piers or Ian's LinkedIn page and also Centrical's, and you will get the details and you can register still today. But that will be Thursday. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to travel up north. So, if any of you could just kind of pave the way for me, let everyone know a Southerner is coming up. I would appreciate it. Now, let me just catch up with a couple of these. Um, a point triggered, Nick Sellers says, a point triggered by an earlier comment, Danny Green. When we lose people, are we losing them internally to a similar role in another company or to something completely different at another company? This might inform better retention practices. That's a great point, Nick. I think we could do, look at me playing with my bobble like it's my hair. I think we could do a lot more with exit interview information, and that kind of stuff could be shared industry wide, um, because it would be really interesting to see why people are leaving. And I can't remember seeing anything. You know, we go through Contact Babel and the read along. I can't remember seeing anything that breaks it down to that kind of level, which would be really interesting. Sorry, I am attending another event in Edinburgh. Oh, never mind, Nick. There's going to be loads more events. It's that time of year, isn't it? Uh, Pete Dunn says, establish that you might not want a career in the contact center, but you'll learn loads of skills that can help you progress across pretty much any industry. Really good point. I don't think we should try and batter people into loving the industry from day one, but just talking to them about the possibilities. Hope it's a great day. Yes, me too. Uh, I'm tempted to put a footy shirt on too. I'll definitely get kicked out though. Yes. Uh, maybe we can have one just for the lols. Take a quick picture, Pete, and then quickly take it off. Would love to be there, says Dara, but with a client on this side of the water that day. Have a great event. Thank you, my friend. Clayton says the agents have to feel part of it, feel that their contribution is meaningful to them and matters to others. They need to feel valued by the business. If we would like agents to go above and beyond and stay in the business, we have to do the above as leaders. Very true. And agree with so many others here. That includes things like mentorship, great point raised by Spencer, showing a general interest in their well being and being curious about what their plans are, to name a few. Yeah, those kind of open conversations about people's dreams, I think, is really important, because even if it doesn't look like they're going to stay in the industry, you can make sure that they have a positive experience by being in it, so that they then become advocates whether they stay in or not, and how working in the industry can help them achieve those dreams. Danny Green says, we carry out exit interviews consistently for internal and external movers. A lot of mine, as I said, is internal, and it's for progression, development, and knowledge for future development. That's the thing, Danny, isn't it? I think everywhere I've been has carried out exit interviews. However, there's no one that's gone around and said, shall we collate all of this stuff from as many contact centers as possible and get a move with, get a view of what's happening in the industry, um, across the whole thing. Like, are we beating ourselves up when in fact we are retaining people? They're just moving. That internal attrition is a positive thing, or are we losing people? And if so, to where and why? And what is it different by vertical markets? I think there's a load of great data there. Uh, the Glazers won't be happy with a Spurs jersey or a beanie Bears beanie bobble hat. No, they will not, will they? I am going to take my boots though. I do want to see if I can get a kick around on the pitch. These comments are great. Now, hopefully I did at the start mention we are going to have a special guest joining. And I'm very pleased to say he's jumped into the green room. So without further ado, drum roll, please. Here he is. Hello, James.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Now, everybody, James has been on before. James from Evaluagent, great people. We're doing some lovely, lovely stuff. But you are here to talk about another great event coming up, James, aren't you?
Yes, indeed. The Contact Center Performance Summit, which is coming up on the 16th of October. Very excited to be here to talk. But there you go. Look at that. Here's one we made earlier.
So
I didn't have to remember that in the end, did I? You had that ready for me. I was there going, please remember the date. Please remember the date.
I should have said, but and again, not just because I'm involved, but can you tell is it the second time this has been done?
The second time it's been done. We ran it last year. It's all online as well, so it's really accessible for everybody. Great feedback last year, really successful, and people asking us within 24 hours, will you be doing something next year? So the challenge was there, and we accepted it, and running it again this year.
Now, will you be talking about some of the developments that you guys have had in that year as well? What's the kind of agenda? What can people expect? And it's worth saying it's free as well, isn't it?
Absolutely free. Yeah, free to register. You get all the content sent as well. So if you can't make the whole thing, make sure that you can access the recordings and follow up with it afterwards. But it's interesting because last year we lived in a different world. AI was a thing. ChatGPT was coming through, but here we are 12 months later. And I think we can all agree that it's just completely and utterly shifted a lot of focus and thoughts and attention, not just of people like us at a product level, but how we fundamentally do our jobs and run our operations. So we broaden the horizons a little bit to encompass some of that innovation in the technology that's available for this year's agenda. Really excited about who's joining. It very much isn't us kind of running a load of sessions and just selling our stuff. That's not what this is about. It's very much education and helping people see stuff that perhaps they don't get to look at every day. So obviously you're joining us. So, no pressure, but you were very popular last year. We've got Erica Farmer, who's a great expert on these things, done some wonderful TEDx conversations. Katie Stabler's coming back again, which is always a pleasure. She, from a CX perspective, great stuff. And we're really excited that we've got Scott Stevenson from DeepGram, who's the CEO of DeepGram. He's they're one of our technical partners. They do world-class work in the transcription field. Great to have him on the agenda as well. But not just kind of guest speakers from that perspective. Really excited that we've got some of our customers joining, so they can talk about some of the work that they're doing. So Ubisoft are joining, All Clear Travel, First Central, all coming on, and yes, some of our people will be presenting too.
Well, I for one, I mean, just some of those names. Erica Farmer has done some stuff in the team leader community. She's absolutely, for me, she's a LinkedIn learner. She's done TEDx. She is somebody that she's at the cutting edge of AI, but she manages to make it accessible and understandable and makes you think about the implications. And it's perfectly suited to what you guys do, because I defy anyone who has a real interest in QA, coaching, feedback, team performance to go through one of your demos. Like I went through it with Chris Mounts and Rob Wilkinson, and you're like a kid in a sweet shop, because I mean, it was a little bit infuriating because I wish something like this had been around when I was manually wading through stuff. It makes you a better team leader. It makes you a better coach and leader of people, because it's so easy to use, it's so accessible, it's intuitive, and it gives you so much stuff. So those elements of the day are still going to be interesting, but some of the other people you mentioned, like Katie, some of your own guys that are going to be doing stuff, it's going to be great. Quick question from Spencer, and Is it center or center? Is it UK or US? Am I?
So at the moment it's 10:30 a.m. UK time, so it's UK people up, so it's RE, and then when our good friends in North America wake up, we'll swap it.
I love it. You've got to be
That's the
there
way
for
to do it.
both. And
There you go.
does it include support for closed captioning for online? I think that from last time, memory says it does. Am I
Yeah, I
right?
think it does. Yeah, we're recording, get all the transcripts. Well, Deep Grammar joining us, so if we can't do transcripts with them, we're all in trouble. So I would suggest it will be available in that way. Yeah, and if any of my team are listening, going, "Why is he said that?" It's too late. I'll put it out there on LinkedIn Live. There's no going back.
So thank you, Lucy, as well, because you can sign up here, which is in the comments. It would be great to see as here we go. Thank you, Lucy. It will, and that's great because hopefully you can make it, Spencer, because you will definitely add value. Sorry, James, are you going to say something then?
I was just thanking Lucy as well because it has made me not look silly by saying something that wasn't true. So I'll take it.
You can't look silly. That's my job.
Look at the hat I'm wearing. I do wish I've got some hats just out of reach. I can't join you in the hat wearing this morning, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you have hair though. But So just as a reminder, everyone, 16th of October.
Yeah.
10 a.m. or 2 p.m.?
2 p.m. So it starts in the afternoon and runs into the early evening. So that accommodates people, making sure that they've got a good chunk of time at work. Make sure you get some lunch, very important to power up. But also for anyone in North America, as an example, can join. And it's not too early in the day for those guys as well.
I'm really looking forward to my session. It's going to be live, and I would welcome as much as possible, like this, just people's interaction and comments, right? So we can talk about it. But James, it's great to have you on. Is this your second or third?
This is my second. So I was the very first LinkedIn Live guest.
Well, there you go. There needs to be a t-shirt.
Yeah. So congratulations on the milestone again, by the way. But yeah, I was the first one.
Thank you. When we meet up, I will have to give you some kind of something to recognize that.
Okay.
Hat, maybe.
A hat, yeah, or beer is fine as well.
Okay, beer works.
Beer works. Beer's easier. And I know that Rob and Simon are joining you in a
yes,
not today, but in the next one or so. So
yeah,
exactly. Nice to be there again.
James, thank you very much for joining us. It's great to see you again.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
See you, mate. Bye-bye. Now, I'm pleased he's joined as well. So that should be a great event. I'm looking forward to that. The event that's coming up this Thursday, of course, at Old Trafford. I've got some breaking news, Peter. You won't get kicked out. So you can your Liverpool shirt. Please do. I will film that. We are going to be at Old Trafford on Thursday with Centrical doing the big game, first annual contact center community day. We're going to have, it's going to be like some kind of challenge for Pete, because he's now going to wear a Liverpool shirt, and we will see, maybe we can run some kind of raffle to see how long he survives. Chris will be wearing his Leeds United one. Okay, the game has changed. We will have bets on who survives the longest, Chris in his Leeds shirt or Pete in his Liverpool shirt. I actually think I'd survive the longest in my Tottenham shirt. It's because basically everyone pities Tottenham. So. But that should be a great event. The Evaluagent one should be a great event as well. That's not until the 16th of October, so you've got plenty of time to register for that one. But if you message Piers for this Thursday, Piers, am I right in thinking that whilst we have 80, there are still some limited numbers of spaces left? So if you are anywhere anywhere, it doesn't have to be up north, but it would be great for you to come along. Hopefully you'll learn a lot. As I said, Chris Rainsforth is doing a session. Ian Chappell is doing a session. Katie Forsyth is doing a session. Hers are always brilliant. Chris's are always great. Ian is awesome. But we're going to have some very participative stuff. I've mangled that one. I am going to do I'm doing 2 sessions, so oof. Uh, thankfully, I've got some great people to lift it back up after I've completely ruined it. Probably around 10 left. Oh, this is like QVC. My producer's telling me there's only 10. There's only 10 of these left. Thank you, Piers. Piers.brown@Centrical if you would like to join. Just need your details. Have you ever daydreamed about launching a GOW United for our crew? I was going to do one. The Expo guys were going to do a football tournament, but despite having loads of people saying they're interested, they didn't have enough actually pay. But that is being mooted for next year. And yes, there will be a Get Out of Rap. Not United, Get Out of Rap Hotspur, Spencer. Come on. Pete, last year's Newcastle event was fantastic, so I expect this one will be too. That's very, very true. Very true. Looking forward to it immensely. Well, we have come to that time. It is the end of the show. Don't worry, Danny. We're finishing now as well. I need to drop off early this week. Thanks, everyone. Cheers, Mark. Cheers to you, Danny. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you, everyone, for your comments too. You are the people that make this show, and I always learn something from the things that you say and your viewpoints. So I hope I can see you all again next Tuesday. Have a lovely week. And for those of you going, I'll see you on Thursday. And don't forget, register for the Evaluate Agent one. That should also be good. Thank you all very much. Have a lovely day.